So I have some feedback from one of my students in my Year 13 A-level physics class. And the classes started up last week and it was great to get back into the swing of things again. And one girl said at the end of the session that she found the session very helpful and she felt that it closed a number of the gaps that she had from last year. And I think that's an important sort of piece of feedback from me because it confirms what I already was thinking. Really, when students are in Year 12 and going through the content, the teachers largely have time to go through the content and to go through one or two worked examples, but the real exam practice, the question practice, which develops students' capabilities and helps to improve their grades, is often left for homework, and it's left for the students to undertake sort of on their own at home. And quite often that's the hardest thing to be asking the students to do. And really that's where my group class can come in, because students get feedback from me in the session, which helps them to see exactly what it was they needed to do in each question. And with it being a live session, I think that's a big advantage. So at any point when the student's trying a question and they're not sure about something, they can ask me, they can get the support from an experienced tutor. And I can then go through the mark schemes with them and help to show them really what it was they needed to do to get from their response to a particular question to full marks, and to sort of explain to them what was needed to get full marks on each question. And what they then do is get that experience of really knowledge what the examiner's looking for, and experience of practicing questions themselves to a very good standard over time. That's going to help to improve the students' exam question capabilities, and then typically I would expect to see students improving their test marks and their mock exam marks, and ultimately their predicted grade might increase and they might end up with coming out with higher grades with the kind of support that I'm offering, compared to just leaving it really to their own devices when they're at home. So if my groups might be of interest, as I mentioned, I have 2 classes running on a Wednesday for Year 13 students covering Year 12 core topics, and I feel it's important to continue to practice the Year 12 core topics in Year 13, and that extra practice is needed to get the students to where they need to be in terms of grades. And then on a Thursday I have a class running for Year 13 covering Year 13 core topics, and then on a Saturday there's a similar class covering Year 13 core topics, and those 2 groups are just slightly apart in terms of topic coverage. So if you're interested in any of my classes, there is still an opportunity to join, so please do get in touch. It will be good to hear from you, and I can provide you with the full details of the groups, and you can see if it's something you might be interested in. All right, so it's from a fairly sunny Sheffield. Bye for now.